You might be a young adult librarian if
you have a fictional boyfriend, Perry from Through the Evernight,
Dimitri from Vampire Academy.
Hi, welcome back to Q&A The Librarian Way. My name's Emily from theknowinglibrarian.com.
And I'm Julia from Sunbeam Yellow.
Today we're talking about to genre or not to genre. Yeah, that's the discussion for today. We're not saying that either way is right or wrong. We both do it differently, which is kind of fun, but we just wanted to show you two different ways that you can arrange your fiction section. So stay tuned for my not to genre and Julia's to genre.
Okay, so choosing to arrange your books by genre is not a simple decision to make because there's a lot of organization that goes into that, a lot of labeling of books, so it's definitely not a small feat. But here are a couple of reasons why I chose to go that route. First, I really want to encourage a love of reading, of recreational reading among my students, because so many times when students come to my library, they're here to do research with the class. And so I want them to find something that they're really going to love. So if they really love romance books, I want them to be exposed to as many romance books as they can be. If they're a mystery reader, I don't want them to get stuck in supernatural if they have no desire to read anything supernatural. So by organizing things by genre, it really helps direct them to what they're going to love the most so that they really do come back to loving reading. The second reason that I really wanted to make this decision is because there's only one of me in my building, and I talk with students constantly about book recommendations and what I think they should read. But there are so many times where I'm in a classroom during the day and not available, and so there have been frequent occurrences where I've come back from being gone for an hour and I have students waiting on me so that I can recommend books to them. But by putting books together by genre, it at least gets my students started in the direction that they want to go. They're able to start looking for books without having to talk to me. It really kind of gets them motivated to go on their own, so that if I'm not available, they at least know whether they like fantasy or realistic, and they can at least get headed in their own direction.
As Julia mentioned, it takes a lot of work to change your fiction books from the Dewey Decimal System to genre fiction. And I'll be completely honest, I'm lazy. There are several thousand books in my teen collection, and the thought of having to go through every single one and change the genre and change the catalog is a daunting task. And unfortunately, I couldn't do it anyway. My catalog is a little restricting. So when you look up a book, it'll just say that it's located in the teen fiction section. It doesn't allow me an opportunity to put an extra subcategory like historical fiction in there. So that's one thing to take into consideration. Another thing in the public library setting is that I'm not the only librarian at my library. So I might put something in mystery, and another reference librarian who's trying to help a patron find a book might not think mystery for that particular book. So since there are other librarians, I have to take them into consideration as well, making it not only easy for our patrons to find a book, but the staff as well. Speaking of patrons, I don't really have a captive audience like Julia does in the school setting. So we have adults, we have kids, we have teens. They're all coming in to look for a book, and they're not all thinking genre. A lot of times adults just come in with a title they've heard that they heard was cool, and they want to find it. They don't really know what it's about, but they know the title and the author. By knowing the title and the author, they can go directly to the shelves instead of having to hunt me down to figure out what kind of genre I might have put it in. So that's just a couple different perspectives between publics and schools and why I've chosen not to go by genre. I have, however, chosen to, we do put genre labels on our books, and I actually made my own, and they're brightly colored, so they're kind of color-coded. That way I still have that browsing feel. So if they like mystery, and that's a blue tag, they can kind of browse my shelves for blue tags to find other mystery books. So there are different options instead of changing your whole system to still have that feel of genre fiction versus not to genre fiction.
Okay, so there are two very different perspectives on the very trendy topic right now of whether to genre or not genre your fiction collection. Now, we are not completely sold on our opinions. There are days when I wish that I didn't genre because I know that the public library doesn't, and part of my role is to prepare my students for the public library.
And there are days where I wish I did genre. It's great for read-alikes and for browsing, and it'd be really nice for teens to go in and be able to find kind of what they're looking for by feel and not necessarily author.
But let's be honest, you have to pick a direction and go with it, and these are the directions that we've chosen. I think mine's better. But we would love to hear your comments and opinions on what you think about this topic. So leave us some comments and opinions below, telling us what you do in your library and why you've chosen that direction.
And you'll see me next week for a library short where I answer Julia's question. Bye.
See ya.
Hey Julia, who are you checking out?
I'm checking out TJ from 10 by Gretchen McNeil. This is a book that pays an homage to Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, one of my favorite books of all time. So 10 teens and a lot of death. Emily, who are you checking out?
I am checking out Soap, An Etiquette and Espionage by Gail Carriger. It's about a girl who goes to a ship where they teach her to be an assassin spy. It's kind of awesome, set in kind of Victorian London. Steampunk, love it. But it's a lot of fun. See you next week.
Bye.